Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Lost Days gaming video. I apologize for the wait, I know it's been quite a while, but I'm here now doing a tips and tricks video for you guys for Lords of the Fallen. I tried to see if I can tone down some of the music and the background noises, that way you guys don't have that trying to compete with my voice. We'll see how it goes in the editing, but I figured I'd do a face-to-face video now that I have some technology to get my background removed and stuff like that. But let's get into the first tip. Of course, the first tip is picking your class in Lords of the Fallen. I'm just going to skip past this stuff. Alright, so we got, of course, people that had pre-ordered the Deluxe Edition, you have access to the Dark Crusader. But the vanilla ones that you get just for buying the game, you have the Hollowed Knight. So this is kind of like your overall basic class. So you have like your 12 strength, 8 agility, 15 endurance, 11 vitality, kind of base radiance and inferno. So more of a quality slash like you start off with a grenade, a sword, shield, kind of like your basic knight class. But if you want to go more strength heavy, you have your Ranger Warwolf. He's got 16 strength, 10 agility, 13 endurance, 10 vitality. Got some gear on, comes with some fire salts and a throwing bleeding axe. So if you're looking for Unga Bunga strength builds, giant swords, giant axes, giant hammers, a bunch of strength, he's a good class to start with. And now we have the Partisan. So the Partisan is 13 strength, 12 agility, 12 endurance, 12 vitality. Again, nice even stat distribution, more of quality. He's got a bleeding with the flail. Starts off with a crossbow. Yes, sorry. Some basic gear. So if you're looking for a more quality-esque build, again, so Partisan and the Hollow Knight are kind of the same, just have kind of different starting setups. And then we have the Mornstead Infantry, which is kind of your leaning. So again, quality, but leaning more into agility, because of course you have, as you can see, the 14 agility, 12 strength, 12 endurance, 11 vitality. So if you're looking for a more spear heavy agility kind of build, then you have the Mornstead Infantry. And then you got your Black Feather Ranger, which is your range guy. Again, agility based. You got some light armor to start with. You start with a bow and arrow. Decent. The ranged combat in this game is actually very, very well put together. I actually made a second character off this guy, so I'm probably going to be doing a Black Feather build to show you guys here later. And then we have the Exiled Stalker, which is your pure agility, fast daggers, dual wielding class. Using poison, you're probably going to be using like status effects with this class. Really advanced class to use. I probably wouldn't recommend starting this off as a starting class. I would say do more Hollowed Knight, the Warwolf, and maybe the Ranger if you're into that. But I would say the more beginner friendly to kind of plow through content in this game is the Orient Preacher. So this is your Radiant class. This is your Radiant Caster. Comes with a spell, catalyst, the already like wholly infused hammer, and then you have some mana clusters to start with. But 18 radiance, 11 vitality, 9 endurance, 10 strength. Pretty much you're going to be just casting at enemies far away and hitting them with your hammer. Pretty decent beginner-friendly build. And then you got your Pirate Cultist, so this is pretty much your Pyromancer in this game. Again, probably wouldn't recommend for a beginner class, because you don't really start getting Inferno stuff, like spells and other catalysts, towards like mid-game. So early game, this class is kind of tough to play with. But once you start getting the more powerful Inferno stuff, this Inferno is actually pretty busted in this game. But you got that, and then you got your Condemned, which is your basic. You got a bucket with rocks. This is like your vanilla character. You pretty much distribute points at your own risk. And then I also have this, but this is for completing the game. So, a little minor spoiler, but you do not get this vanilla when you're playing it. So, pick your starting class, and then we're going to actually go back. So, the second tip that I actually want to put is your stat distribution. So, go here, go to character. So, we got your strength, agility, endurance, vitality, radiance, and inferno. So, of course, whatever class that you're starting with, if you're doing like the Orient Preacher and you're doing Radiance, you want to make sure that you know what your damage stat is going to be. So with that being said, this is more of a Radiance focus build. As you can see, I have Pieta Sword, which is like the first boss weapon that you can get in the game. Got a bunch of spells, stuff like that. So I want to pop my Radiance even further. But starting distribution stats, I would say go for your vitality and endurance first thing in the game. That is going to help you out so much in the beginning. I would say go to 20 vitality, 20 endurance, then start focusing on your damage stats, and then start pumping. Probably mid game, you're going to be balancing your vitality with your damage. Endurance, I didn't really pump more than 20 to 25. Like this one, I put 25. I probably could bring it down a little bit and put more points in the Radiance if I wanted to. You don't really need more than 20 endurance, in my opinion. If you're doing like a strength build, maybe pump 25. That way you have a little bit more stamina to swing your sword and dodge and all that stuff. But I would say for a caster / agility, like just stick with 20 endurance and then start distributing your damage stats and your vitality. So 20 vitality, 20 endurance, get those first, and then start focusing on your damage stats, and then pump your vitality back up if you're having trouble towards mid-game or whatever. Hard caps for like the damage stats, the hard caps are like 75, so they can go up pretty high. And vitality starts, I think around 50 is like the first or second soft cap, and then I think it can go up to like 80, I believe, for hard cap. So you can get pretty high stat distributions in this game. So that out of the way, let's focus on tip number 3, and that's going to be some combat tips. I'm going to get this. I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. This is a little tricky for me right here. Where'd he go? Oh, that's right. I might die here because I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. I normally don't. Could just plug in my controller. Alright. Alright, so as you're locked onto an enemy, you'll see a little white circle around them. So as you're dealing damage, you'll see it starting to slowly tick down and do a heavy attack. So, going away a little bit. So actually, let me do this. Okay, alright. Alright, there we go. So now you kind of see the circle going like almost halfway. So once you get that down to completely gone, you're going to what's considered like a staggered state. And actually, what happens is you can do this, which is called a grievous strike, which is pretty much your riposte attack for you Souls fans out there. So that is actually a really good thing to know. So parrying at the right time is really good, especially if you're doing a sword and shield build like I am. Parrying is actually really good. If one little tip though, there's I don't know how to do it on mouse and keyboard, but there is a kick that you can do. I think it's okay. All right, yeah. So you have to hold block and light attack. So do a little kick, and this is really good for knocking like small enemies off cliffs. Or actually, there's a dog right there. Let me see. Anybody else here? Right, yeah, let me see what I can. So pop that. Boom! Look, I instantly staggered him. Actually doing pretty good. Mouse and keyboard. So that little kick actually does wonders for, especially if you're just trying to get a little bit of posture damage in, especially on a big enemy. You can just kick them, and it'll automatically put them in that like stun state, and then you can do your grievous strikes. It's actually a really good tip. I didn't use the kick for like almost the whole freaking game, and then I was like, wait, I can kick people. Really greatly enhanced my my combat. So a little bit of tips there. Of course, you got your ranged. All right, now you got your ranged. All right, so if you have a catalyst, you can cast different spells, and as you can see down in the bottom right, there is the different spell slots that you can attach. Of course, depending on your catalyst, depends on how many slots you can have. I believe you get like 2 or 3 when you first start off, but the better ones you find, you can get, there's a max of 5 spell slots, and then of course you can equip your throwing hand, which you put through different things. There's like grenades and knives and all kinds of stuff that you could put on. Put this back on. So you can equip different spells, and the cool thing about this is like you can just start aiming and then just immediately start choosing whatever spell slot you want to use, which is really useful, especially if you're doing like a bow build or a crossbow build, or even like for instance, like I can cast from range. So dogs like and you can just kind of sit here and cast from afar. Stuck by the stairs, but really good tip to know. So moving on to the next tip, is using your Umbrell lamp. So this thing, you can see into what's called the Umbrell world. So this game, the entire game, has a second world that you can pop into. Actually, yeah, that's another combat tip. Using the Umbrell lamp for the soul flay. Pull this guy back out. So with the Umbrell lamp, what you can do is what's called a soul flay. So you charge this up and pull the enemy's soul out. And basically what it does is it adds a white bar to their health. My double hit slip. Hippie. But if you die, you go into the Umbrell realm, and you get a second chance, sort of. Let me finish this guy. Eat these guys. Oh, what did he drop? Holy souls. So now what you have is pretty much a second chance. So, and as soon as you enter the Umbrell world, half of your health is withered, which is that little white health bar that you'll see on the top. And what you have to do is you have to deal damage to regain that health back. So it's almost like the rally mechanic from Bloodborne, or Liza P actually did it recently. So for you Bloodborne fans out there, you should know what rally is. So once you have that, you can pretty much regain your health back, but once you get hit, your that chunk of health or whatever gets lost, plus whatever damage that the enemy does to you. So there's that, and of course there's a bunch of secrets and stuff like that in the game. So if you are stuck or anything, pull out your Umbrell lamp and just look for stuff. Look for things that you can pull, or or certain items. Actually, like to upgrade your Sanguinarix, your healing, you have to go into Umbrell and find these like little belly things that you have to pop. So that's all in the Umbrell realm. You actually do not find any of those upgrade mats in the regular Axiom world. So greatly encouraged to keep using your Umbrell lamp. That's pretty much the mechanic in the game. So, And of course, you can plant vestige seeds, which you see down on the bottom right where F icon is. So you can pretty much have your own little mobile vestige here, so pretty much your bonfire that you can just kind of plant down, which is actually pretty nice. So if you get stuck in between vestiges, so if I run from this guy and I feel like I'm taking 20-30 minutes to get to somewhere else, and if I see a flower bed, so what these flowers are, I can just plant a vestige seed, and I can have that as a rest point, which is actually pretty nice. All right, I think that's everything. Oh, running, and just so traversal. So for jumping, actually one little tip. So there's a lot of traversal in the beginning part. So if you just continuously run and then jump, just keep running, you do that roll right there. So if you just run, jump, I had not a good, okay, yeah. So he likes to do this jump constantly, and then he'll do this roll right afterwards. Like an uneven ground here. But one good thing, if you don't want to roll off the next platform that you're jumping on, you just stop, like you let go of forward. So you want to run, jump, and let go. And he'll stand still. So he doesn't do that stupid roll. You do run, jump, let go, and he'll stand still. So you'll still cross a gap, and you don't do that forward roll on certain platforms. So nice little tip there for the jumping and traversal in this game. So of course you want to get your blacksmith as soon as possible. She is pretty available early in the game. She does not pop up in Skyrest when you first get here. There is a small side quest before you get to the Congregator of Flesh. It's kind of like the second, I guess you could say no, it's not second, third. I don't know, you get here, oh, no, yeah, second, sorry. Like the second big boss that you fight in the game. So of course, Blacksmith, you can upgrade equipment. You can eventually in the game you can socket runes, and what runes do is you can go here and you have different shapes of runes, and then you can put different effects on your weapon. So like this one, I have increased holy damage and then increased holy defense. You can put sockets on shields as well. Actually, in the latest update, they put a patch where boss weapons can now go up to +10. So there's that too. So if you see my Pieta sword at +6, you're like, what the hell? But yeah, the latest patch, they put boss weapons up to +10. So for those of you that don't know that. So you want to grab her as soon as possible, and then of course to get boss stuff, which is always nice, you want to pull out your Umbrell lamp, and you want to, go into the Umbrell world. And up here, you'll find Mulhu, which you will find a certain item. Again, in Pilgrim's Perch, it's pretty hard to miss, because you have to go into Umbrell in order to progress. And there's one of those belly things that you got to pop, and you give it to him, and now you can obtain remembrances. And what remembrances are is you can use Umbrell scourings to purchase boss spells, armor, weapons, anything of the sort throughout the game. And then you can upgrade your lamp by finding chisels, and then you can socket different eyes as well when you find those throughout the world. So I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Pretty much all the basic stuff. Because I am a Souls vet, and I will say, like, the stat distribution and like trying to find the right class, what you want to do, took me a little bit to find in this game. But I found like the enemy variety and the enemy density was more challenging than the actual bosses in this game. But I hope this helps you guys out, and if you guys enjoy this kind of one-to-one talk with the camera, or if you just like the edited videos, let me know down in the comments below. And again, if you guys like this sort of stuff, if you like the tips and tricks, um, you know, is there any other videos that you guys can think of? Put them down in the comments below. I will take it in consideration. Again, I apologize for the wait on the videos. It's been quite a bit going on lately, especially with holiday coming up and whatnot. Work's been busy, but it's what you get as a small-time YouTuber. So I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.